Hello, welcome in everybody. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and this is going to be a general collective message. Keep in mind, timing and energy is fluid. This message could be playing out right now in your current reality. The message may or may not be for you. So just take what resonates and leave behind the rest. And so we are in this gateway portal of receiving massive intuitive insights, but we are being penetrated to the very core in this energy of the Three of Swords. And so the Three of Swords represents heartbreak. And so a big message is be gentle with yourself. We're learning to trust. We're learning to trust the intuitive insights that we are receiving. And so right now we're in an extraordinary, powerful portal of receiving clarity. Clarity that comes like a chill breeze, right? And so the clarity of spirit does come like a chill breeze, and you can feel the truth throughout your very being, and it touches you to the very bone. It chills you to the very bone, and that's how you know that you are receiving the maximization of this intuitive clarity. And so right now, many in the collective are facing existential crisis in order to get them to penetrate towards the Godhead of Christ, which is Christ consciousness. And so amidst all of this intuitive insight, there is massive confusion. So before we go any further, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, and share the video. Especially if you're resonating with the message, it helps to grow the channel. It's just a nice, free, easy way to show me some love and show me some support. And so yesterday we had the sun enter into Leo. I tried to record the weekly forecast for the collective, and I was met with block after block after block. And we do need to keep in mind we are in the pre-retrograde shadow period of Mercury going retrograde. And so I was met with technical issues. I was met with physical issues. And so right now we're in this portal of great power and great potential. But we do have to harness this power appropriately, because we do have the ability to manifest our desires and to achieve success in any of our endeavors that we choose to pursue. But we're also in this energy of judgment. And so we have the sun opposing Pluto today. The sun in Leo in opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. And so this was a huge energy of the Queen of Swords reversed. And so you might find yourself being overly emotional. You might find yourself being easily influenced with these oppositional energies. And so it is a battle between the head and the heart, Aquarian being air energy and Leo being the heart. And so I feel there's somebody here that might be bitter, that might be overly critical, downright cruel as a part of some type of manipulation tactics. This person might be you. This person might be somebody that you're dealing with. But I felt a very nastiness in the energy, which is likely a result of some type of past hurt or past trauma with that Three of Swords energy. And so if you've recently gone through a breakup, this could be you. I understand how painful breakups can be. The twin flame activation and awakening for me was the deepest, darkest heartbreak I had ever felt. And I've had my heart broken many times, and I've broken many hearts. And I know how heartbreak can leave you feeling vengeful and a little bit unforgiving. And so if you are in those energies, allow yourself some time for self-reflection, and do not let these negative emotions consume you, because heartbreak does create a deep inner meaning. And so sometimes things just don't play out because it was poor timing. And so what is the inner meaning of heartbreak, right? And so right now with the moon energy, we just went through that second full moon in Capricorn on the 21st. And so we're in the detriment, right? And so there might have been a certain truthful revelation coming through. And so feelings are not a substitute for clarity. And when we're overly emotional, then it leads to indecision. And so sometimes we need to pursue logic to overcome the confusion, because confusion will always overpower intuition if you are not grounded in reality. And so we're in this purification, this cleansing process collectively, and it's the energy of no more sweeping it under the carpet, no more sweeping it under the rug. And so in order to establish proper values within your own spiritual journey, You do have to bring resolution to all of these unresolved issues from the past when it comes to trauma. So we can't keep maintaining the status quo, no matter how determined we are to maintain the status quo. This perfected cleansing is only through this deep inner realization of your personal truth. And so I feel right now we're cleansing the collective of all superficial relationships, anything superficial that's tried to hide the dirt underneath the carpet, so to speak. And so we have to release superficiality in order to have this pure perception. And so right now we are perfecting our cosmic intelligence. What else did I channel? So I do feel there's a need for caution and self-control. If you're feeling a bit all over the place with this oppositional energy, do not let your emotions completely control your logic, because there is an energy suggesting a lot of emotional immaturity, and there is a need for self-reflection, right? Especially if you've recently gone through an ending, or you've lost maybe somebody that you thought was your twin flame or the love of your life. It can feel like you are blocked emotionally until you work through all of these negative emotions. We can't sweep it under the rug. And so right now, any divinely guided endings are leading you towards a turning point, so to speak. And so we are always the director of our own reality, and there's major capacity for beneficial collaborations moving forward towards personal growth. And so these energies are huge. We have to learn to trust our own intuition as we go through this gateway. And so mastery of relationships is a big role that the Twin Flame Collective has agreed to embody this lifetime, and we are here to bring forward clarity to maximize relationships, right? To ensure harmony and balance, like that Libra energy. And so in order to receive intuitive clarity, we have to master first and foremost the relationship with ourselves. And so in order to progress forward, you have to listen to that quiet inner voice inside. And so we all have a natural ability to download information, to download new forms, and to go through these powers of re-evaluation, re-examination. And that's what retrogrades are for. We need to remember we have Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, both of those energies retrograde in Pisces right now. So there's a lot of disillusionment. There's a lot of recognition of where we played the martyr, where we played the victim, and where we need to take charge of our life. With Pluto retrograde at the 0-degree mark now in Aquarius, this is untapped, unbound, unlimited potential, and it's going to be dipping back into Capricorn. And so we are closing out like a 15-year cycle connected to the Capricornian, Plutonian themes. And so listen only to that quiet inner voice. And so there is a tendency to keep on keeping on, and one foot in front of the other. But sometimes we can end up in this state of being like a misguided missile, and we can get far off track. And so there's a need to reassess, to re-examine the processing of all of these downloads and the data from the cosmic energies that are being activated. And it can become very overwhelming. And so right now we have to utilize these energies properly, and we still have to keep looking for the magic in the journey. And so acceptance of whatever clarity has come forward. And clarity and truth is like a double-edged sword. The truth hurts, right? The truth does hurt, but there is a situation, I feel, that has led to a lot of misunderstandings, and there is no way to rectify a situation here that kind of just needs to leave your life. And so when clarity points to a problem that is unresolvable, then you need to be aware of those circumstances. Some problems just can't be solved. And so right now I feel there's a tendency to anger easily in these energies. There's a lot of frustration that might be provoking a lot of futile action. And there's a lot of projection and triggers coming forward. And so right now it feels like an eye for an eye. And so when it comes to that vengeful energy, I kept hearing truth and conviction, truth and conviction. And so measure for measure, or an eye for an eye. And so when we tap into these higher channels within the brain wave, or the brainwave activity, and we go through this expansion of higher consciousness, when it comes to this new awareness, we do have a right to empower others when we come into this truth and this cosmic knowledge. And so the keynote here is self-empowerment first. self-empowerment first. And so we have to perfect the energy form first before we can start helping others empower themselves. And so there's a lot coming forward when it comes to intuitive gifts. Many are being activated into this truth. And so clarity of intuitive insights, what does that mean for you? And so we do have to go into the capacity to penetrate our very core in the now, which is this deep inner attunement of the heart. The gateway receptor is always the heart, the noose of the heart, and so the noose of the soul. And so everything, when it comes to all of these new vibrations coming in, it will affect our physical form, our emotional form, and our psychic environments. And so moment by moment, we have to register all of these new senses. What is safe, what is healthy, what is good for us, what we really need to say no to. And so right now, we all have a right sense of what makes us feel safe. Your body will never lie to you when it comes to what makes you feel unsafe. And so really listen intuitively, attuning to the higher energies. Be alert, stay focused right now, because if you're not focused in the now, you're not going to hear the messages coming through with clarity and truth. And so our intuition is only a guide, right? We have to understand people's behaviors, their actions. We need to learn to read a room and to read people. And that does take a lot of spiritual discernment. And so right now, pay close attention to your instinctual hunches. They will never lead you astray. Pay attention to that little voice that only speaks very softly inside when you quiet the mind and you tune out all of these external distractions along the journey and act on these hunches immediately. And so I was also shown the energy of the King of Swords. Somebody here is paying attention to their intuition now. There is no tomorrow to fear. There really is nothing to fear at all. And so I felt a very shocking energy, almost like a tower, almost like somebody is being aroused towards the direction of love. And so right now we need to respond and not react. Give me 1 second. I heard my dog Bailey rushing down the stairs and I didn't want her to bark on camera. So right now I feel there's a lot of energies bringing a lot of disorder and shock, almost like a tower, so you can recognize where you need to adapt out of an old karmic cycle into the new earth template and timeline. And so there's great power in taking that leap. The fool takes the leap, right? The fool takes the leap of faith into the void first. Leap first and trust that the universe will catch you. And it will catch you if you choose the direction of love. And so I was working very closely with Archangel Michael this morning. And so retrogrades always give us this gift of re-examination. To re-examination the very foundation of your beliefs, your life, and what you need to be prepared of in order to release any ego conditioning from these past experiences. And so we have an advantage, right? Those of us that have had previous experience with life crisis, and I'm a pro at facing crisis. We know how to work through these traumatic experiences. And so we usually go through deep emotional withdrawal after this awakening. And I call that period the dark night of the soul. And it is the void. It is a very dark, deep evaluation of your life, everything you've gone through, everybody that's hurt you, everybody that you've hurt, and getting to a place of understanding that we are weak in times where we allow the ego to challenge our reality. And so we have some other energies playing out this week with Mars trine Lilith. And I was shown a major energy of completion. 1919 was a big sync. 1919 and 757. So I feel this is a time of intense passion and possibly even a lot of expression of outrage, sacred rage, and anger. And anger is just an intense emotion that is telling you, hey, I'm being triggered because something here isn't fair, something here isn't right. And anger really is an emotion of unprocessed grief. And so in order to express our inner desires, we have to go through these waves of emotion and go through these waves of receiving all of these new energies, these new light codes. And we are tapping into these higher cosmic intellectual realms. And I feel right now we are on the verge of a significant collective breakthrough. And so I think many of us are starting to see things with clear eyes, with clear thought, and with clarity of heart. So we can pursue the truth of the matter, right? And so we are being asked to seek justice, to bring justice into our lives. And so what are you prepared to fight for? Because we have to be ready for this battle when it comes to truth and conviction. And so we are at a time of a new beginning, maybe after a period of loss or disappointment. And I kept hearing reversal of fortune. And so we can't stay in a state of withdrawal out of fear of what is next. And so the hermit energy too, I've been really drawn to hermit it up, to go within. And so there is a purpose in being in that state of withdrawal. Withdrawal sometimes is the only logical action to take after a shocking tower of sorts. And there might have been a shocking tower on the weekend. And so when the power of the ego is threatened, we usually withdraw, right? And so we're all learning from our past mistakes. And so do you want to learn from them, or do you want to keep repeating another karmic cycle? And so right now there's a lot of life-sustaining awareness being downloaded. We need to be able to think on our feet if we are to create new abundant opportunities. And so spontaneity in times of challenge is necessary, kind of like the Fool, the energy of Aries. And so we are reversing fortunes. So, most of us go through the bottoming out, or like the reversal of the scales, and we bottom out and we hit that rock bottom, and we have to understand limitations. The limitations we put on ourselves and the limitations that others put on us when it comes to beliefs and patterns and family structures. And so sometimes in order to find that cosmic intuitive genius, we do have to go through some of the most devastating, shocking, traumatic events of our life. And so I've gone through many battles. I've been a warrior. I am a wounded healer. And so the warrior ego is really what we're here to harness. And so we can't just keep making do. Mentally, this will be a shock, right? When our mind expands beyond the patterns, and when we do recognize the superficial ego that we all have within, we can understand that the superficial ego actually lacks resources and depths to face challenges and to answer challenges. And so there's like this perfected illumination coming forward is what it feels like. We are in preparation of Lionsgate, the 8-8 portal. And so we got to grasp the nature of the tower too, in order to transform the old patterns into aligned, symmetrical, adapted patterns moving forward. And so ride the waves of shock, ride the waves of emotion. We cannot avoid devastation. We cannot avoid the tower if we are to perfect the warrior, the wounded warrior ego. And so we have to seek to the very core what it is that is not in harmony, so we can stop being overwhelmed by taking the next step forward. And so separation, there might be a separation here, some type of crisis to create all kinds of massive disorder to get you to separate from maybe a group of friends or a relationship that has really brought a lot of disapproval in your life. So I do feel we are in the gateway of confusion, disorder, and heartbreak, and many are going to start succumbing to panic, but we all have the will and the vitality to go it alone and survive it alone. And so that was one of the biggest lessons, is to learn independence for me too, because relationships are meant to be interdependent and not codependent. And so we all have the power to meet challenges alone. I've been doing this alone for quite a long time. And so it is a gift to know that you have the ability to go it alone. And sometimes this will provoke and trigger those that feel disempowered, that don't know that they have the ability to go it alone. And so balance your life right now. There's this burst of energy coming through asking us to balance our life. Acknowledge if you're in a difficult spot and be willing to ask for guidance. The angels and guides are always there, kind of guiding you forward. So let's finish off this channeling and we'll jump in with the cards. But right now I feel right now the energy is prime for initiations, and the ego is saying, hey, it's time to find your will and your courage to embody the power to complete a cycle. The energy is driving us ahead. A lot of the twins are one step ahead of everybody because we are here to go where nobody else has gone before. 1 minute. Just had a cat fight break out. So you might be going head to head in competition with somebody. We're not here to compete. Okay. We're not here to compete. And so we are here to create a new world order for ourselves, and then to teach others how to design their life out of these states of complacency and soul suppression and soul depression. And so we can stay in our safe cocoon, but we will never be directed forward into these personal states of transcendence and self-love if we choose to stay hidden. We are here to embody love for life itself. And when we are in a state of constant competition and trying to master the material world, then we really are in a place of disempowering ourselves. We are here to master inner courage, our inner will. We are here to master our energy, and we are here to no longer endanger ourselves when it comes to our truth and our vulnerable hearts. And so right now we are being challenged, I feel, both physically and spiritually. And so what is it that you need to maintain in order to embody your true heart's health? How can you center yourself to attune to the truth that you sense deep within your heart? Because the heart is always going to be the gateway receptor. What do you need to do in order to recuperate so you can begin engaging with the world again? And so we are on this seeking journey of seeking ourselves and looking to the spiritual realm for guidance and direction. So I feel this energy like the witness. The witness returns. Can I get a witness? So let's jump in with some cards. Let's see what else needs to come through for the collective with the tarot. I'm going to jump in with the Past Life Energy Oracle deck. I tried to use this deck yesterday with the forecast, and it was no bueno. But let's jump in with this today and see what we got. Passions and interests. 40, it's like an Ace of Cups energy, Page of Cups. So there's maybe emotional exploration about what does bring you passion, what does bring you joy, what are your hobbies that you like to do, what sports do you like to play, what are your favorite pastimes, are you in a repeat relationship pattern that keeps you blocked from going into what brings you joy? There's a shift, there's a release. There's a release, I feel, of old relationship repeat patterns, and it does kind of give the energy of the world. And so there's a major relationship cycle reaching completion. Could be connected to the fixed signs, but this is about going into the depths. Like if you go back to like when you were 10 years old, what was your favorite pastime to do? What did you do when it comes to sports or hobbies or creating things? I know for me, it was always painting and drawing and reading and writing. And so go into that core childhood energy of when you were 8, 9, and 10. And what were your passions? What were your interests? And how have you maybe been pulled away from really living your best life with these relationship repeats? I know I've gone through many repeated relationships. It's like the same cycle with a different face every time. And so do not deceive yourself of your worthiness. Betrayal and manipulation. I feel an energy of 10 of Wands. There's a burden here. I think somebody has really deceived themselves. There could be a commitment here, a false commitment here. There could be betrayal. There could be manipulation. This could be closing out a long-standing commitment or partnership or marriage. I think maybe somebody could be in a situation where they thought this was going to be their person. They were going to get married and have stuck it out and really has deceived themselves about some type of commitment. I think it's time to recognize what needs to be released when it comes to a burden. So let's do a few of these cards and let's see what else needs to come through for the collective today. What other messages need to come through? So we get servitude and idyllic memories, and they both flipped out in reversed. I'm not going to read them in reverse, but is this like a magician in reversed energy and a Page of Wands in reversed? And so somebody here is trying to block somebody when it comes to their service mission. Somebody here is struggling with feeling like they're losing power or losing control of a situation, and there's a lack of peace here. And this could be due to some unhealthy childhood patterns and memories when it comes to relationships. And then on the bottom of the deck, we get community. And so there could be a whole group of people here holding somebody back. It doesn't have to be. But this really is about your communal efforts, your service-based mission within the community, and that in itself will bring wealth. So somebody here, I feel, is exploring another option, really thinking about traveling or exploring a new path, a new avenue. 14, temperance. And then below that, we get longing for love, loneliness, and so judgment. There is some type of an awakening, and I'm getting tingles all on this side of my head right now. And so I feel somebody sees exactly what it is they want to go towards, and they're longing for love, and they no longer want to be lonely. Somebody here, I feel, is overworked. A situation is out of balance. Somebody here could feel entitled to control somebody, but I feel a major release, a major ending. So let's go a little bit further with the tarot, and let's see what else needs to come through. Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So a new creative drive, and there could be the possibility for some type of reunion or reconciliation. We get fire, we get water. So there could be a deep past life connection here coming together, and this could be a connection coming together for personal or professional reasons. There might be a twin soul connection coming together that will create a lot of wealth. I just feel the pivot point, the crossroads. Somebody here has a big, big decision to make. So let's do 9 of these cards. And let's see what else needs to come through. I just saw the Page of Coins reversed on the bottom of the deck. I peeked. And so that is withdrawing from an emotionally immature situation. We get the 5 of Swords in reversed, Queen of Swords. 8 of Wands in reversed. We get the World reversed. This is somebody not learning a lesson. We get the 6 of Coins in reversed is the central energy, and the Ace of Swords in reverse. We've got a Queen of Swords here upright, exposing some truth. Exposing lies, exposing imbalances. We get the Palace of Wands in reversed. We get the Magician reversed. We get the 9 of Coins reversed. The only card upright is this Queen of Swords. We have somebody here in the public eye. She's a truth speaker. This is recent past, and maybe there's been blocked communication. We do have a Queen of Swords here that is holding that double-edged sword of truth. And I do feel she's looking right at a manipulative situation. This could be a feminine needing to get honest about self-deception or wanting to control a situation. We could have a Queen of Swords lashing out here, very angry, very bitter. I see Sagittarius energy. I see Taurus. I feel Pisces. I feel Virgo. Gemini, Virgo. There is somebody here that is so afraid to go their own way. Do not deceive yourself of the magic that you have within. There is a situation here in the balancing, and there's a need to open up your heart, to stop living life with the rose-colored glasses on. What is it that you need to walk away from? We've got an 8 of Swords here, and so somebody here is trapped in an old mindset, an old belief system. Somebody here is lying to themselves about a situation, about what it is that they need to cut out. This could be the past coming back to haunt somebody when it comes to some past lies that have been exposed. And I feel things are happening very, very quickly. There could be an abundance of downloads, and there's a need to get grounded. And so get ready to receive a message that you don't want to hear. And I do think this message might be heartbreaking with the Palace of Cups in reversed. And so this is a hard awakening. Somebody here is losing control, and they're trapped in a loveless situation, I feel. And so the Knight of Coins in reversed is this is somebody really not investing in the long-term goals. Somebody's trapped, feeling entrapped in an old mindset. Somebody's bubble is about to burst because they can't stay stuck in this situation of depression and soul suppression. And somebody here just wants to drink from that Holy Grail cup and maybe bring something back from the dead. But there is heartbreak here. There is pain, there is sorrow, and I think it's been avoided up until now. So let's clarify this Six of Coins in reversed. Something about the eclipses connected to the Libra eclipses. The Fool. Yeah, something about the Libra Aries eclipses. And so we've closed out those eclipses. There is a cycle that has needed to reach completion throughout those eclipse gateways. And somebody here is refusing to close out a cycle. I feel the love is gone. The passion is gone. There's a lot of manipulation tactics going on here. And there's a need to just embrace a new beginning. Somebody here, I feel, is codependent, extremely codependent, needy. And yeah, it's like the rose-colored glasses have been removed, the Ten of Cups reversed, and the Two of Wands. And so I think the decision has already been made to take action in a new direction. And we could have a Queen here trying to block somebody, going towards new abundance. And so this is like a giving it to God, a coming to Jesus moment. When we give it to God, we surrender all power and all control to a higher power. We let all of our defenses go. We drop our guards. We drop our defenses. And so somebody here is just looking for a fight, looking for a battle. And I feel it might be this Queen of Swords. So let's clarify her. She's the only one upright, and she knows exactly where she's going with that sword. And so we've got somebody here that's hurting, that is struggling, that is hurting, that is in a state of emotional shock. I feel there's emotions all over the place. Yeah, and somebody here is just struggling when it comes to releasing a situation because of the pain. And so heartbreak is the gateway receptor to activating this purification process. And so there is a Queen here that I feel has held on for dear life to something that at one point in time she thought was wish fulfillment. I think enough healing has gone on. It's time to take the Band-Aid off. I think there's a core abandonment wound here that has created extreme codependencies. There could be a mother wound here, a father wound here, could be dealing with a Scorpio, but something about those eclipses, there was justice that was playing out that is reaching some type of culmination or completion going into this Lionsgate portal. And so there is a new beginning here, but there is a need to gain a new perception about a situation where I think it was juvenile at first. I think, you know, there was a lot of words of love spoken, and somebody here just doesn't know their worth and doesn't know their value. Could be a Taurus, could be a Libra, could be a Pisces. But it's time to come out of this state of martyrdom. Something about Neptune going retrograde. This is busting something out of the water. This is bringing something to light about somebody that is just unwilling to leave a situation behind that I feel has already been walked away from. And so we've got an angry, vengeful feminine coming through that doesn't want to walk away from a foundation because of maybe a toxic belief, that is lying to herself and maybe even lying about somebody taking action, leaving this behind. And so I think like the cat's out of the bag. Pandora's box has been opened. I think that full moon in Capricorn brought in the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And somebody here is losing sleep and really fearful about losing something that they feel is their wish fulfillment, that they're really not supposed to be investing in anymore. And so let's clarify the Nine of Coins reverse, because this is the outcome. And I'm not really liking that for an outcome. So what is the Nine of Coins in reverse? Victory. We can't heal and self-empower ourselves until we recognize our own codependency issues. And so I feel there's victory after challenges. There's victory over something toxic and codependent here with the Devil card. And I do feel there's a need to heal. Somebody here is in denial of an ending, and there is a need to heal if you want that new beginning. So there's a new creative spark, a new drive. There is an opportunity for new, but it will require deep emotional exploration. You might need to go within. You might need to take the lesson within and do some deep soul searching, because somebody here is getting some bad karma, I think, and this has been a long time coming, maybe 3 years in the waiting. So let's close this off with a Mary Magdalene oracle message. And let's get some advice here. I do feel a feminine here that is struggling, and I've been there. And so Christ, love knows only mercy. And so there is like a coming to Jesus moment. And love only ever expands. It doesn't restrict. It doesn't control. Love does not bind. Love is very freeing. So let's get one closing message. What do we need to know when it comes to this message? It's like something coming back around, man. Something coming back around. So it's like the reversal of fortune, the reversal of the scale, something coming back around. What you do unto others will eventually come back around unto you. And so I think this has just been a long time coming. What is the closing message here for the collective today? The eye of the heart. How beautiful. How beautiful. We contain the treasure, the eye of the heart. For where the noose is, there is the treasure, the soul, the noose, the eye of the heart. And that is how we see. And so humility sometimes is our greatest teacher. And maybe somebody here is losing it all and experiencing humility. Humility is the gateway to compassion and to Christ. And so humility sometimes is our greatest strength. So let's read out of the book, The Eye of the Heart. If I can find it. We contain the treasure. This is going to be powerful. What we so desperately seek outside of ourselves, we actually contain from within. And so there's somebody here that thinks love is outside of them. We contain the treasure of love within us. This truth has been told to us in so many parables and myths throughout history of humankind. So what keeps us from experiencing this truth directly? We have to believe it in order to see it. We have to believe we could be this powerful, this sacred, to contain divine love within us. And so in Mary's gospel, Mary tells the other disciples about a vision she had of Christ. I saw the Lord in a vision, and I said to him, Lord, I saw you today in a vision. He answered me, how wonderful you are for not wavering at seeing me. For where the mind is, there is the treasure. First, let's focus on that last sentence. For where the mind is, there is treasure. The word that's translated as mind in English comes from the word nous in Greek. And a more accurate translation of nous is the spiritual eye of the heart. And so the nous is the highest aspect of the soul. It is the aspect of the soul that we actually experience and encounter, truly know while in this human body. And so we don't have to die to encounter this ascension or awakening process. We can die to the ego in this lifetime. And I've experienced the ego death again and again, many times over. And so what we experience through this awakening is the eye of the heart. And so let's focus on that first part of what Christ says to Mary. How wonderful you are for not wavering at seeing me. I'll never forget the energy exchange of being taken to the cross, I guess is the best way to speak of that experience. Being taken to the cross and bearing witness to Jesus's crucifixion in my own freaking kitchen. And so that experience changed me like no tomorrow. And so Christ basically is praising Mary's bravery, her willingness to be present in the capacity to see the vision of love directly within her. We all have love within us. It is not outside of us. And so the second we stop seeking love outside of us is the minute that we can change our vision. And so the power of the ego moves us towards a vision of Christ. There are 7 powers of the ego that we have to overcome on the journey. And so what are you ready to see with the eye of the heart? What truth are you ready to see? And although it is a double-edged sword, the truth will hurt, but the truth will set you free. And that's what I have for a message today. So if you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. There you will see the links to the various readings that I'm offering. Also, if you would like to become a channel member and join us live every Thursday over on the membership side, feel free to check it out. Come on over to the other side and join us over there. I would love to see you over there on Thursday. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.